Hello, everyone. Welcome to my tarot channel. I don't have the best setup yet until the remodeling is done, but I thought I'd do a pick a stone, and whichever stone, I'll do 3 different readings. Whichever stone that you like, that reading will be a little bit more, um, it'll be a little bit more relatable to you. So basically, this is, it's a little bit dusty. It's my amethyst. It's not the most. It used to have a little plant stuck to it. It's part of a geode or something. Anyway, that's the amethyst. And this is the rose quartz. And this is the citrine. I think it's been treated to make it darker. Let me tell you the meaning of these different stones according to the spiritual values that are attributed to them. The amethyst is enhances spiritual awareness, that says meditation, balance, psychic abilities, inner peace, brings understanding of death and rebirth, unlocks spiritual, mystic, and psychic wisdom, is very healing. Now, some people I've talked to says that if you wear an amethyst and things are going good, it increases that. It's an amplifier. So if you're really going through rough things and depressed, maybe amethyst wouldn't be the one you want to wear, but it certainly is nice to meditate with and things like that. Okay, now this one is rose quartz. It's one of my favorite ones. Can't really see how pretty, what a pretty um, pink it is, and it enhances for all forms of love. And if you have, they say, if you have a coworker that gives you trouble, find a little piece of this and tape it to their chair underneath, and maybe they'll sweeten up. It enhances all forms of love, platonic and romantic, mother's love, self-love, divine love, encourages tolerance and forgiveness, opens our hearts and teaches us to be tender, peaceful, and gentle, um, emanates unconditional love, and helps us to attract love. So that's a really nice one. And this is citrine, and like I said, it's been treated to make it more orange looking. And it fosters prosperity. So this is a more of a it fosters prosperity, creativity, generosity, protection, strength, stability, career success. Basically, it's an all-around good stone. So pick one of these, and I'll do them one at a time. And let's see. Which one should we do first? I'll do this one first. I'll do citrine first. I can keep things from falling down because I don't have a very solid setup at the moment. So we'll do citrine first. We'll put it right here. Um, and the spread I'm using is called the Overview Spread. And I'm going to use my standard tarot deck for the thing. Then we'll use clarifiers, as they call it. So this is my original deck my mother got me when I was in high school, so I could do readings for her friends. Nothing like your mother using you as a form of entertainment for her friends. I didn't mind. She's always trying to get me to come out of my shell anyway, so this was her way. I'm not a fancy shuffler. Live with it. I picked them this way. That's going to be the first card. Second. Third. Fourth. 6th, 7th. Okay. And I'm going to put out a Power Thought cards by Louisa L. Hay as our overall. I'm trying to look at them in any way. I just want to pick one. As the overall theme message to whoever is looking at this one. I ask for help. I tell life what I want, and then I allow it to happen. Everything I need comes to me at the perfect time. That's the message. The first card signifies what you're experiencing personally. And that's the Hanged Man. Now, the Hanged Man, I've always think of him as seeing things from a different point of view. It can also mean there's going to be a change. Maybe you're bored. It could be boredom. Basically, you're just, maybe you're in a suspended state because of all this having to stay home and having a house full of kids, and so all your plans are kind of like up in the air, basically, and you're just hanging there waiting for things to change, keeping an eye on things. So, that's kind of maybe you're just bored because you can't do what you want. The second card is current influences, which is death in reverse. Now, death doesn't mean death, so don't freak out. It usually means change. But in this case, when it's your current influences, it's immobility, slow changes, stagnation. Like we're all on pause, we're all on hold. We can't do the things we want. We can't just go and do our social things and things like this. We're kind of stuck where we are. And that's not always a horribly bad thing, but it is, challenging, to say the least. I put this so it's not shining quite so much on the cards. Yeah, that's better. So, we have this going on. We are sort of stuck. A lot of us are in the physical sense anyway. You don't have to be stuck mentally, but it is hard not to feel a little stuck here. Okay, number 3 is what's on your mind. And that's the Ace of Wands. Now, the Ace of Wands, the aces usually mean beginnings. So your mind is on, what you want to do next, maybe beginning a new venture, beginning a new business, or getting some projects done. That's kind of what's on your mind right now. And I don't know how to get the camera to, when I'm doing YouTube, to be the right way around, unfortunately. But I mean, it's like I have this idea, and here it is, and gee, how do I get started? That's what the Hangman's like, going, how do I get started on this? But it's something you're thinking about. You're thinking about some kind of project, some kind of thing you want to do, some place you want to go, and you're kind of and as we see, we're kind of stuck right now, kind of in this energy. Now, the next card is the near future. And that's not a bad card. That's not a bad card. That is the Five of Cups. Or the Four of Cups, I mean. Not necessarily bad. But that does kind of show that you're kind of, frustrated and disappointed in how things are right now. You're reevaluating things because you have time to sit and think, because life's a little bit has suddenly changed. What you're usually doing has suddenly changed very suddenly, and this was not expected. So it's been a little frustrating, to say the least, I'm sure. But the universe is holding out a cup here. And this cup is an offer, and it's an offer that you can take or you can refuse. Spirit is saying there's something you can do. If you're dissatisfied with the way things are, there are things you can do. Just tap into your intuition, into your dreams, and see what's there. See if there's something you can do in this time that's very challenging to kind of perk yourself up spiritually and emotionally. Okay, the next card is the one underneath, and that's the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is usually a nice card, something that might be coming up that might be good, but you're not. It says here that things you don't want to think about, and it could be little things that you could do that you can't do right now, that were sweet and wonderful and fun, and now you can't do them, so you don't really think about what you're not getting to do. Maybe relationships or a budding romance is on hold, for example, and you don't want to think about it. Someone's offering you something where just about to, maybe you were just going to start dating or something, and all of a sudden this happens, and now you don't want to think about it because you can't do it. The recent past here is the Four of Swords reversed. Now, the Four of Swords usually means that you are, retreating, relaxing, healing. But this is the recent past, and this is social unrest, labor strikes, renewed activity. But I'm thinking mostly it's social unrest. So we've had lots of social unrest. People being out of work rather than labor strikes is basically people not being able to work. And that's very true. And this is the card of what happens next. And this is the King of Pentacles. I always thought he was a rather handsome man, sitting there on his throne holding his pentacle, saying, "This is my pentacle, you can't have it." King of Pentacles is normally just, a really good thing of prosperity and stuff, and steadiness and reliable. This is a card of materialism, that that people are worried about where they're gonna, if they're having work cutbacks and they don't have compensation, how they're gonna survive. So this is what a lot of people was, perhaps what you're worrying about yourself, that things, if it lasts too long, how are you going to make ends meet? So that's basically it. Now let's use some clarifiers here. Maybe we can get something a little less depressing. Okay, I have the wisdom, the Vision Quest Tarot, which is one of my favorite decks. And let's clarify Goodness, things are all mixed up. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's clarify the Hanged Man. Let's see if there's anything additional to just taking a pause and looking at things differently and being suspended in your plans and your activities. Okay, let's see. There's a card. This is the card. It's called Stress. This is what you're experiencing right now. It's stress. Now, in your current influences right here, Six of Fire, which is victory. I know it's hard to see anything going on as a positive, but you might be surprised. On your mind, let me get the little booklet. Oh, there it is. This was Spirit Guide in Reverse. And this is about new beginnings that you're frustrated about because you can't do them. And Spirit Guide in Reverse is 20 Major Arcana. I'm not sure they do reversals here. I don't think they do reversals in this deck. So Spirit Guide tells you pay attention to your intuition. Listen to messages from Spirit side. Don't be discouraged because you can't do some things physically right now. Help from the higher spheres is on its way. Your guardian angel or spiritual benefactor has not forgotten you. Don't forget that you're a powerful spiritual being. Okay, let's clarify this card, which is near future, which was like you were looking at your cups and the universe is offering you something. And this deck says Ace of Water, which is the same as Ace of Cups. This is to bring love and gratitude into your life. Connect to your source of being. This is another card connecting to your spirit and to your intuition. It's all over this spread. Everything's saying connect to your intuition and your spirit. Don't stress about the physical so much, because if you raise your energies, the physical gets taken care of so much of the time, surprisingly enough. This card, which you don't want to think about. Daughter of Water. You don't want to think about your lack of freedom. This is a card about freedom and your power. Sometimes confusion between your thoughts and gut feelings. Sometimes your fear can get the better of you. And so these might be your fears here, the things you don't want to think about is your limitations, your fears, and things like that. Now we'll look at number 6, which is recent past. Nine of Earth, accumulation. I mean, what did I tell you? People are stocking up. That's what's going on. People in the recent past have been overstocking up, and this is what's been going on all over the place. I mean, that's pretty obvious right there what that card means. And the last card of this one to clarify is what happens next. And that's Son of Fire. Son of Fire. And then I'll end with the some angel cards. Son of Fire. Son of Fire. Courage. Passion, creativity, vitality, strength. Urge to become free. Young love. Impetuosity may lead to confusion. It's a gust of fiery energy. So perhaps once you recover from having to be stuck in your house, maybe you're going to start doing something to help you feel less stuck and see the blessing behind the challenge. Put a little fire in your household in a good way. Pick up yourself with a little courage and do something new. And last but not least, I got flower therapy cards. We'll just pull one for the whole reading. Smile. Sunflower. Simply smile and notice the profound and healing difference it makes. There you go. Okay, let's do the next one. Well, things falling apart on me. All right. Oops. Put this Rider-Waite deck away. Okay, the next stone I'm trying to do, I can find it, is the rose quartz. Okay? And the affirmation for today for these people that have chosen the rose quartz. This one says, I accept my uniqueness. There's no competition and no comparison, for we are all different and meant to be that way. I am special and wonderful. I love myself. So during this stressful time, if you're having trouble feeling loved and accepted or feeling valuable because you can't work or whatever, or your health is poor, just remember you are a person of value. You'll always be a person of value. You'll always be important and needed. I'm doing the overview spread. First card signifies your mood. This is current influences, things on your mind, near future, things you don't want to think about, recent past, what happens next. Okay, the signifier, that's your current mood. Maybe you've overcome it or not. I don't know. Let's see what the swords. I think that's a 9 of swords. 9 of swords reversed. Unselfishness. Good news. Healing. So this could be you're in a healing mode. You're just working on taking care of yours and yourself, and you might be receiving good news. But you're on the mend. I would say this is a card of you getting better. Whatever it is that's going on, it's getting better, and you're starting to feel that way. Okay, now this is the current influences. Well, that's obvious. This card's pretty obvious about the current influences that are around you. People are combative, fighting over everything. You have to defend yourself. People aren't being their best right now. That's conflict. That's the current influences around us, so there's a lot of conflict. Is it necessary? No, it doesn't need to be conflict, but there is. Here is what's on your mind, which is 5 of Cups reversed. Now, this is somebody who, if it's upright, he's looking at all the poured out stuff and not remembering behind him there's some things already left. Basically a card of being grateful for what you have, not dwelling on what you don't. But the 5 of Cups in reverse, let's see what it says. New goals. When this is reversed, it talks about things you want to do. Maybe you've changed up what you want to do in the future because this has taught you something, or you just have some new ideas that you want to start rolling out as soon as you're able to. It can be a little frustrating because right now it's kind of hard to get anything really going, but that doesn't mean you can't plan and work on it. So 5 of Cups can be hope, of things that you do have, and being grateful for what you do have and not worrying about what you don't have, counting your blessings. This is the near future, which is Queen of Pentacles. That's a good sign. This is a sign that things are going to get better. So whatever it is you're going through, hopefully it'll be better for you. And keeping a positive attitude and knowing things will get better is important. This is about intelligence as well, thoughtfulness, talent. So if you want to start doing something new, you know, in the near future, you have the talents to do it. The thing to watch with this card, though, is that it can warn you against melancholy. So, you know, you have to remember to count your blessings and to realize that you do have the ability and talents, and not to get melancholy, not to let the energies of other people affect you too much and to get you down. That's important. Number 5, this is what you don't want to think about, which is the sun, which is an unusual thing because the sun's usually really, it's the best card in the deck. And perhaps what you don't want to think about is all the things that you wanted to do that are great. You know, maybe you've put off getting married or going out on dates, um, or you've put off, you know, some project that was going to bring you in some money and stuff. A lot of things have been put on hold because of this virus thing. Things we, you know, we can't do some of the things we want to do. So maybe you don't think about all the stuff that you know are going to be great and are going to work and are going to be successful, and you can't do them. And that's frustrating. Very frustrating. Now, in the recent past, we have the Tower reversed. Well, that's number 26 or 16, pardon me. Number 16. Trying to find it. Okay. Tower upright usually means a big change, a disruption. Tower reversed, oh my goodness. Feeling entrapped in imprisonment. I mean, that's the reason everybody's feeling trapped in their house. That is just exactly what this means. Everyone feels, you know, imprisoned and trapped, frozen, unable to move. Yeah. Now let's see what this says. And this is what happens next, which is 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands, when it's upright, talks about, you know, stress, carrying this heavy load, and, you know, you're going to get there, but it looks like it's going to take time. But in reverse, it means cleverness, energy, and strength. So things are going to get better. You're going to feel better. Things are going to move forward. This is not going to last forever. So keep your chin up. Now I'm going to go to my Vision Quest Tarot that I did with the other one as well. Like I said, this is one of my favorite decks. And let's get some clarifying cards for this. The story's almost the same as the other one about the frustration, plans being put on hold, tapping into our intuition to gain spiritual strength through physical challenges that we have. Now, to go over this card here is, let's do this one. Grandfather. That's number 4. This means you feel in a position of responsibility, feel very responsible right now to take care of your family, take care of yourself, make sure everybody has what they need, But it's also a card talking about help in moments of need, wisdom, courage, authority, reliability, ruling by serving. You are the helper of your family. They rely on you, and you can do it. Clarify current influences. Seven of Air. Futility. You feel stuck and frustrated. I mean, I think most people do. They feel like, I can't do what I want. And that is the recent influences. What's on your mind? Father of Fire up here with the Five of Cups reversed. What's on your mind? Striving for freedom, motivation, willpower. Trying to fight being impatient. You're trying to fight being patient with yourself. That's on your mind. Trying to motivate yourself to do things that you just don't feel like doing. Let's clarify near future. Two of Water, love. Two very, very good cards in the near future. That's a good sign that things are going to be getting better pretty soon for you. Harmony, spiritual happiness, friendship, kinship of souls. This is where your friends, your love of your friends and family will help you through all this. Recent past over here, which is the Tower reversed. Zero, the Clown, the Fool. The Fool just leaps without looking. They take chances. Sometimes not the wisest thing. Maybe they're thoughtless. They look for their opportunities. Perhaps you saw some people behaving thoughtlessly in the recent past. But also can mean, at least you have been an independent person, non-possessive, egoless, living in harmony with self and life. You weren't trying to take advantage of the situation we're in. You've been good that way. You've been helpful. You've been kind. You've been generous. Then number 7, what happens next? Two of Fire, will. Surviving through determination. Control, confidence in one's power, clear focus, positive action, mastery of a situation. You've got this. You've got this covered. And what don't you want to think about down here at the bottom? 10 of Earth, wealth. You don't want to think about the material sacrifices that are being made right now. but you also have the sun, which means that I think things are going to get better, hopefully sooner rather than later. But you are worried about your money situation. And let's pull a flower remedy card, a therapy card, to close it all off. Trust. Carnation. You can trust the people around you. They are earth angels sent to give you the guidance you seek. Trust in the people you know you can trust. Be grateful for them. Be grateful for your friends and your family. Okay, now I'm going to do the next reading for citrine, I do believe it is. Or was it? Oh, no, it was amethyst. That's right. Now, these are general readings. If they don't make any sense to you, that's fine. Perhaps a message is for only one person that I'm reading for, and it'll be important for them. So let's put the amethyst out here. Let's shuffle our Rider-Waite tarot that I'd had since I was in high school. My mother gave it to me so I could entertain her friends. Only my mom would do that. My daughter can do tarot. Oh, I love that woman. She was crazy. All right. Oh, well, that one just flipped out. I'm just going to use that one as a signifier. This represents your sense of yourself, I guess, your view of yourself, or your mood. That's the King of Cups. There it is. You're a very kind person, and you're willing to help people. And during this time when we're all incarcerated in our homes, so to speak, and limited in how much we can socialize, you're the nice person. You're such a nice person. You're helpful, you're kind, you've got a sense of humor, you're loving. People appreciate you. Now this card is the card behind you. Oops. And this is the card on your mind, near future, what you're thinking about, just recent past, and what's coming next. Current influences, the world reversed. Well, our world certainly has been tipped upside down, hasn't it? It's flipped us completely over ourselves, head over behind, so to speak. I won't argue that. That's number 21. This indicates disappointment, perhaps because you are such a kind and generous person. You've felt pretty disappointed in the behavior of your fellow man recently. I won't argue that. People have not been thinking of anyone else but themselves. During a time of crisis, especially worldwide, we need to think harder than ever about all of us as a community, not just us as a single entity. I know The fear can get to you, especially for an empathic person, and the fear in the world just will sort of overcome you, and that's completely understandable. But that's kind of what's going on right now is you're disappointed in people, and I don't blame you. I'm not too happy with how some people have behaved through this. Now, what's on your mind is the Lovers reversed. And normally this is a pretty nice card, but in reverse, it signifies frustration, unreliability, fickleness, untrustworthy, separation. People who are just so disappointing, maybe even people in your family. You're just so disappointed in people because you have extremely high standards. You're not that kind of person. You think of others. And people who are being selfish and stuff really, really bothers you. And I can relate to that. In the near future, we have the Queen of Cups. Well, that's a good sign. That's a good indication that things are going to get better. She's a loving mother, gentle, happy. She's the one who takes care of the heart of the home. This is you taking care of the heart of the home, taking care of those things that need to be done, things that aren't about money, but about comfort, kindness, patience, and service. This is what you don't want to think about, which is the two of Wands reversed. You're not happy about how you get impatient sometimes. You don't want to think about the fact that you sometimes, you're a wonderful person. Sometimes you just don't have the patience for all this BS going on. And you don't want to look at that side of yourself. You don't want to look at the dark side of your shadow self where you get angry, frustrated, and most of all, you don't want to give in to the fear. So yeah, this is something that is a credit to you that these things bother you, but try not to be judgmental on yourself here. Now this is the recent past, which is the Knight of Pentacles in reversed. And it's about how people have been careless and irresponsible in their behavior, which is true. It also means that everything's at a standstill. This horse isn't going anywhere. Just holding their pentacle. He's holding his pentacle. He's just sitting there on his horse going, okay, now what? And this is kind of where a lot of people are going, is that we're just stuck. And we have to we have to be careful about being careless and irresponsible. We do feel kind of stuck. Now what happens next is the Three of Cups in reverse. And this is another thing of worrying about things you can't do anything about, things that might be hidden from you. Maybe, pain, fake news, frustrating news, negative news. This is not the good news card. This is you're getting bad news, and this is stuff. Some of it's true, some of it isn't. So be careful about what you watch and what you read, and try to make sure that a lot of stuff we hear, the precautions on how to avoid catching this virus are good ones, but don't be so negative that it reduces your immune system. Realize that it's temporary. It's all temporary. And you're a good enough person to handle it. You really are. You can get through this. Now let me clarify some of these with my Vision Quest Tarot. I'll shuffle it for my amethyst people. Over the King of Cups is number 14, integration. Integration is the card of temperance. Creativity, artfulness, spiritualization of matter, finding one's true form, harmony, equanimity. You have the creativity to find ways of coping and helping people through this whole mess we're in at the moment. You have the creativity, you have the power, you have the talent, you have the light within you to help, just by being you, to help others. Now the second card is the current influences. Which is the Two of Fire, which is will. The influences is people. You can go one of two ways here. There's two swords. You can have confidence, clear focus, positive action, mastery of a situation, or you can try to dominate and bully. And I think that you're the kind of person that would try to master a situation with positive action. You're confident. You're in control, but you're not trying to dominate. I think you're probably very good with people. And if you're not good with people, it's a potential you have, definitely. It's perhaps a talent you don't know about, is that you can be really good with people. Maybe you're an introvert and you've never really tried to be much of an influencer on others, but I think you have the potential to be so. Okay, another clarifier for number 3, which is what's on your mind. Number 7, spiritual warrior. There's a hawk or an eagle in the background. He's holding a skull. He's on a horse. See what it says about spiritual warrior. That's number 7, which is a very spiritual number. Searching for your own truth. Maybe that's what you're contemplating now that maybe you have time now to start thinking about your inner work, self-contemplation, self-actualization in the outer world. Doing the inner work to gain spiritual and physical positivity. Okay, now let's look at number 4, Queen of Cups. That's a very good card. Let's see what it talks, and that's the near future. Son of Water. Now he's out in the moonlight, which is all about inner work as well, and he's in the water, which means emotional. So perhaps the near future, you have a chance to work on some of the more subtle parts of your spirit. Maybe if you have emotional issues of any kind, you can deal with them. You can have time to heal in spirit. Okay, Son of Water. Sensitivity, tenderness, creativity. Watch out for being moody, though. Don't be moody. Try not to be moody. Try not to let things get you down. You have the ability to attract and charm people, and that's a power, so don't misuse it. Use your creativity. I think this is time for you to get your creativity box out and start looking at ways to make this time a little less unpleasant. Number 6, recent past. Endurance. Well, I think that says it all right there. You're enduring. You're hanging in there. 7 of Fire. Let's look and see what it says explicitly. Stamina, bravery, perseverance, remaining in the present, breakthrough and centering. Remaining in the present, I mean, if you worry about what's going to happen and you have all these scenarios in your mind from the scary news out there, that's not going to help. Stay centered, stay present. Now, what is it you don't want to think about? Three of Fire, integrity. Perhaps you don't want to think about how people are behaving. You're not happy with how people are treating each other. You're a person of high standards, and that's not your, you don't like that. You're a sincere person. You're a good person. You value yourself, and I don't think you like to see people treating each other poorly. And so that's something you don't want to think about. And I forgot to do an affirmation card for you. So let me get that out. I deserve the best, and I accept the best now. I am mentally and emotionally equipped to enjoy a prosperous and loving life. It is my birthright to deserve all good, and I claim my good. So things are going to get better. Have faith. Gloom and doom isn't true. Let's do one of these flower therapy cards. To end the reading. I'm not quite sure what plant that is. Oh, it's bougainvillea. Down in Los Angeles, they grow everywhere like weeds. They're a little cold where I live for these. But basically, shield yourself. Now, you're a high energy person. You're a caring person. You possibly are an empath as well. And this says, I invoke protection to bring this situation to a speedy end. Protect yourself spiritually through all this so that for you, this energy of negativity and lack and frustration will pass quickly. And you can once again start being your creative, powerful self as you are supposed to be. So that's the end of my readings today. I hope you enjoyed them. I'm obviously new at this. And I'll have a better setup when the remodel is a little further down the line. Thank you so much. And if you like what I do, please subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz. Take care.